In the name of Allah Almighty, the most beneficent, and the most merciful. Hi everyone. I am Dr. Tanveer Ahmed, Chairman, Department of Livestock Production and Management, Arid Agriculture University. In this lecture we will discuss fodder or forage conservation through haymaking. Conservation of fodder can be achieved by three ways. 1. Silage making through fermentation. 2. Haymaking through sun drying. Or it can be done by artificial drying, making dry meal, like of berseem or lucerne drying by artificial ways. So this is, one of the way, to provide the quality fraction of the diet, through the use of dried leaf meal cut from a range of tree legumes. What is available for conservation? We have two main things for this. 1. Forages. 2. Crop residues and byproducts. First we will discuss little bit about forages. All forages change in their composition and nutritive value as they mature. Immature forages have a high protein content and are usually highly digestible, but yields are low. As the plant grows, both digestibility and protein content decline but yield, like its total volume or bulk, increases. Therefore, a balance between yield and quality needs to be found when deciding when to harvest forages for conservation. In the case of grasses, this is just before they flower. At this time, the grass is still quite digestible, and yield is approaching its maximum. After flowering, grasses rapidly lose their nutritive value. Fresh forages contain a lot of water, and this makes them prone to spoil once they have been cut. There are two ways to conserve fresh forages. One is to pickle them in their own juices, silage, that we have already discussed in detail. The other method is to dry them under sunlight or by artificial way. Drying under sunlight is known as haymaking. In areas with a long, dry season, most dry fodder will still be capable of providing sufficient energy and fiber for ruminant livestock, but it will become deficient in terms of protein and vitamins. In that case, dried leaf meal cut from a range of tree legumes can be fed along with other diet components. 2. Crop residues and byproducts. Stems, leaves, seed coats and bran from cereals may be fed to ruminants. As these are byproducts, harvesting time is generally dictated by the harvesting of the main crop product. This will often result in the nutritive value of the crop byproducts being lower than would be the case if harvesting was done earlier. Straw is another crop byproduct, and this can be treated and then used as livestock feed. Let's discuss haymaking. This is an old method of preservation and can be done by two ways. 1. Traditional method. 2. By using rapid drying equipment. In traditional method, forage is dried under sunlight, and the success of which entirely dependent upon the selection of a period of fine weather. Rapid drying techniques used machinery. The barn drying equipment has improved the efficiency of drying process and reduced the need to be dependent upon the weather. However, this would increase the process cost, and in Pakistan, it could not be economical due to high electricity tariffs. In many countries of Western Europe, including Britain, silage making has overtaken haymaking as the preferred mode of conservation of green forages. Haymaking is not a common practice among small livestock keepers in the tropics, probably because of the very poor quality of mature tropical grasses. Forage conserved by being dried in the sun is called hay. The process of drying the green crop without significant change in aroma, flavor, and nutritive quality of forage is also called curing. Hay is a leafy dry fodder, green in color, and free from molds. The aim in haymaking is to reduce the moisture content of the green crop to a level low enough to inhibit the action of plant and microbial enzymes. The moisture content of a green crop may range from about 65 to 85%, it tends to fall as the plant matures. In order to make hay, the moisture contents of green forage must be reduced to 15 to 20%, but preferably 15%. Green forage with 80 to 85% dry matter or 15 to 20% moisture, preserves most of the nutrients, and may be stored satisfactorily in a stack, or bale. It is not better to cut late. The custom of cutting the crop in a mature state when the moisture content is at its lowest is clearly a sensible procedure for rapid drying and maximum yield. But unfortunately, the more mature the herbage, the poorer is the nutritive value. Now about advantages of haymaking. It is less expensive. We can maintain more stock on certain area. Less space is required for storage than green fodder storage. For example, one bale of 66 kilograms can be stored in 1 cubic meter. Drying eliminates undesirable things. There are less chance of spoilage than silage if small amount for feeding is required from a big lot. In addition to advantages, there are certain disadvantages of haymaking. 1. Extra labor is required. 2. A loss of 10 to 15% of nutrients may occur. 3. It's a common proverb. Make hay while the sun shines, so difficult to make hay where sunlight is not sufficiently available. Some basic characteristics of good quality hay. 1. A good quality have more leafy and less stem portion. Usually green in color. 2. Have soft and pliable stem, it's an indication of good nutrients. 3. It should be free from dust and mold. 4. Be palatable. 5. The moisture contents are less than 15%. However, 15 to 20% are acceptable in good quality hay. Suitable crops for making hay. 1. Crops with thin stems and more leaves are better suited for haymaking as they dry faster than those with thick, pitty stem and small leaves. 2. Select crop free of weeds or insect attack. 3. In irrigated tracts, berseem, lucerne, and oats are the crops recommended for haymaking. 4. In rain-fed areas several grasses can be conserved. In March and April there is plenty of green berseem, lucerne, or oats available for haymaking. What is the suitable time for making hay? Hay quality will be affected by quality of the crop being used, fertilization, and stage of maturity of crop at harvest time. It will also influence the palatability, crude protein content and digestible energy. The best time to harvest is in the early bloom stage for legumes. So leguminous fodder crops, like cowpea and lucerne, should be harvested at the flower initiation stage or when crown buds start to grow. Grasses and similar fodder crops should be harvested before seed head emergence or at the pre-flowering stage. At this stage, the crop has maximum nutrients and green matter. After flowering and seeding, grasses contain fewer nutrients. The quality of fodder deteriorates with advancing maturity, hence the quality should not be traded with quantity. In order to make the process of curing easier, the fodder should preferably be harvested when air humidity is low. Avoid the rainy season, such as monsoon rains, during summer when Sada Bahar is surplus for haymaking. In such case, it is better to delay cutting rather than having mycotoxin due to humidity. Recommended stages to harvest hay crops. Berseem, 1/10 bloom stage. Lucerne, bud, to 10th bloom stage. Oats, boot to early head stage. The best season for making lucerne, berseem, and oats hay is in March and April, when these crops are at peak production. Barley can be harvested at boot to early head stage. And Sada Bahar, when it is 35 to 48 inches tall. Factors to look for in high-quality hay. The factors to look for in high-quality hay are: 1. Species of plants. Determine what plants are present and the proportion of each. Hay with a high percentage of legume is usually higher in feed value than pure grass hay. 2. State of maturity when cut. Plants should not be in full bloom, nor should they have formed seeds. Early cut hay assures the maximum content of protein, minerals, and vitamins, and the highest digestibility. 3. Percentage of leaves present. Leaves are the part of the plant of highest quality, hence, a high proportion of leaves relative to stems is indicative of high quality. 4. Green color. A bright green color indicates minimum of bleaching and leaching losses of carotene and other nutrients, and palatability. 5. Aroma and fragrance. High-quality hay has a pleasing, fragrant aroma. Moldy smells are undesirable. 6. Stem meanness. Large, stiff, woody stems make for low acceptability and quality. High-quality hay is fine-stemmed and pliable. 7. Foreign material. High-quality hay is free from such foreign materials as weeds, stubble, sticks, dirt. 8. Condition. Hay that has been cured and stored properly does not contain excess moisture, is not in layers or chunks due to excess moisture or heating, is not moldy, and is not dry and brittle.